Hi, I'm Kayla Cardio. I'm going to show you some of the tools that Seint has to offer. I'm going to start with the blush and bronzer brush, which may surprise you. It's for blush and bronzer, but you can actually put your all over highlight color on with this as well. I do that often, and so I'll use that in these areas to apply my all over highlight. Then I use the fluffy end to blend my highlight and contour together. Or to apply the Bella Cream bronzer, which I have here next to Glow Illuminator. So sometimes I'll even mix the two with this big end. You could do this before or after your main hack colors. So don't be afraid of it. It's like a spray tan in a tin. And we will apply that to the areas of our face where the sun will hit. And automatically, I'll be more tan. So that's pretty nice. You can even apply a loose powder after this if you're someone that's extremely oily and needs to set your makeup with a loose powder. You can do that, apply that with this brush as well. But mainly I'll use it to apply my all over highlight. It's the best for applying blush, right? I don't have any on here, but blush and then bronzer. So that's what you can do with the blush and bronzer, or sometimes lovingly called the B² brush. Next, we've got the buff brush. If you have any kind of melasma, pregnancy mask, hyperpigmentation, and you need some full coverage, or you just like a really full coverage made up look, this is the brush for you. You could get away with this as your main brush for applying your all over highlight. I kind of paint it on a little bit, and it's really great for concealing under eye circles. This is what I have to do for my under eye circles because I want the most coverage with the least amount of product, because you really don't want product in that under eye. So the buff brush is the queen for getting the most coverage. You could do your contour with it as well. I really like it paired with the B² blush bronzer brush because they're just so different. So I can apply my all over with this and then do most of my blending and my blush with this, because I don't love the buff for applying blush. So anyway, that one, full coverage is where it's at. Next we have the detail brush, which is my very favorite brush to contour with. So you will apply it, since it's already in this nice line, you can make a nice crisp contour line. You can do it around your face, and it's already in a line that's almost the length of my nose, so I don't have to worry about trying to draw on a straight line. It's already in it, so I'm just stamping that on there. I can add some contour here to make my lips look a little bigger, and then I can use the small end to come and do my light detail highlighting work. So with my second brightener shade, I'll come down between my nose, I'll add a little extra brightener there, and I can really get into those areas exactly where I want, hence the name detail. So it's definitely my favorite brush. It's great paired with, if you can get two brushes, it's great paired with the B² or with our 3D brush. So the 3D brush is the baby, the OG, the original. You can do your entire face with this brush if you need to. If you're trying to get your price down, start with with either this or the Buffy, and then do a class. Try to get your other brushes for free, which is easy. 1 to 3 friends order, and you can do that. So you can do your entire highlight and contour with this brush. I usually use this small end for the under eye. It's just different based on the person, but this brush is so versatile. 3D brush is amazing for your 3D foundation. Next we have the powder brush. So I like to use this to put my vanilla dust to set it, especially if I know that I'm gonna be out, it's a 12-hour day, then I will just set that. It's perfect because it fits right in the little tin of the vanilla dust, and you can just do it just in the areas that you need it. And I also like to use the other end of it. Some people actually put on their highlight and contour with this brush, and this is the only brush that they have. I love the shape of it, how it's slanted like that. Can you see it? So it makes it really great for getting right into the cream. And I'll use it, our Cayman bronzer, and I'll set my contour line with the bronzer. And that's something that I'll do with this powder brush. Next we have the blend brush. You can do your entire face with this if you like a really natural, soft airbrush look with barely any product. This is great for really young girls or just people that want a super natural, I don't even have on makeup kind of look. I like to use this to add a little bit of brightening under my eye because you don't want a lot of product there. So it's just gonna spread it around really lightly when I put that sunlit in there. Just very lightly under eye. It's great for applying your blush because you can keep it just in that area. And it's just wonderful for blending. You can do that cream bronzer we're using with this as well. And then I also, lastly, I like to put on my powder illuminator with this brush and just lightly put that on there, and I even use the small end to use some of that powder illuminator under my brow bone or on the inner corners of my eye to just give a little light. And I love powder illuminator here and in the center of my lip, which will actually make my lip color last longer as well if I top my lip shade with some powder illuminator. But this is a beautiful finish. It takes me a little bit longer to apply when I use this brush, if I use it for my all over, but it just gives I always get compliments when I use it because it's just really soft, natural look that you've got going on there. And as you can see, it's really pretty for the powder illuminators. Okay, next we have the eyeshadow brush. It's perfect because it's got a fluffy end and then a smaller end for smudging. So I like to use, let's see, the smaller, smudgier end to do like a soft bottom eyeliner and to darken the outer corners. So you can use your main fluffy side using basic to put on your main color. And then when you want to be more precise about where it goes, obviously I'm not doing a whole eyeshadow look for you guys, but if you want to be more precise about where it goes, then you slip over to the small side and you'll add that just in those areas where you're trying to get. Now let me show you. So the fluffier brush is, the less concentrated it puts on the color, right? So when I want a little bit more concentrated color, so I do most of my blending with this brush, with the eyeshadow brush, right? So I can just spread that around. But if I want the color, let's say on the main lid, a little more concentrated, that's when I would switch. It's gonna bug me that these don't match, but you guys, I'm just trying to show you these quickly because I value your time. But I'll switch to the smudge brush to give myself a little bit more. See how this one's much more concentrated because it's a smaller, more dense end. The smudge brush also is more dense than the fluffy eyeshadow brush. So when I want a little bit more color, like on the main part of the lid, let's see, let's find the color I want to use. I'm being picky right now. So I'll go into my main color that I'm trying to get. If I want a little bit more color, instead of putting it on with that fluffy brush, I'll use the smudge brush and I can get a little more color. See if I can show it to you on my hand. So if I use the smudge brush, oh no, got too much light coming in here. If I use the smudge brush, I can get this amount of color. If I use the fluffy end, same color. You see how much less concentrated it puts it on? So when you're going above, which obviously you're gonna keep windshield wipering it back and forth, but still you can tell the smudge brush is gonna put it on more concentrated. So when you wanna do that blending and get that seamless transition down, you wanna use this fluffier end. And when you're trying to put more color or even pack more color on the lid, you're gonna use a more dense brush. If I want super vibrant, then I'll switch to my Multitasker brush and really pack my color on even more so, okay? So that's just how it goes. The Multitasker can do everything, hence the name, Multitasker. So I will take this and I line my lips with it, use my contour color or that Bella bronzer, and give myself a nice little lip line. I also use it to apply my lip color, use it to pack on eyeshadow. You can use it to draw on your brows. You can use it to apply your eyeliner with the small end. This brush can do everything, so everybody needs one. And then lastly, we have the line brush. You'll use the spoolie end to apply your brow wax, which is really nice. I'm not using it right now. You'll use the smaller end to do eyeliner, or you can do it to, let's see, here's some Trust eyeshadow. And you can do this to fill in your brows. So I'll add just a little bit of that Trust shade. And it's so precise because it's razor thin. And you can draw like individual hair strokes with it if you need to. And just fill in where it's patchy and already that brow looks way better than the other, right? So the line brush is awesome for brows and for eyeliner. So I think I covered them all. The point is, once you use a brush for what it's made for, you can't ever go back because they're all so good. And if you're not getting the look that you want to achieve, that you see your artist achieving, then it's probably because you don't have the right tools. And if you can't invest in them, have a class, host a class, and we can get those for you for free when your friends order. So that's definitely a way to get around that. Thank you guys for tuning in.